Welcome back. Today we're going to be predicting week 4 of the NFL season. Obviously the final match of week 3 has not happened yet. I didn't do too well this week, only 8-7. So yeah, but I'm going away on holiday, so I had to start predicting week 4 now. Because I kind of have to. Otherwise, I won't get a chance to film this. First up, we have the Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks, wow, they beat the Saints. The Cardinals lost the 49ers. It's hard to root against the Seahawks, even though it's been played in Arizona. Let's have the Vikings against the Steelers. The Vikings a much better performance against the Bengals. Dominating. And the Steelers, I kind of forgot what happened to them. They beat the Patriots. Okay. I do think the Vikings are going to win. They just looked the better team last week, in week 3. Following that, we have the Washington Commanders against the Atlanta Falcons. The Commanders picking up a win against the Raiders, bouncing back the week 2 loss for the Packers. The Falcons, yikes, getting shut out by the Panthers. It's not nice. Even though it's been played in Atlanta, I am picking the Commanders. I need those points. Following that, we had the New Orleans Saints taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Saints, they looked decent in their first 2 games, but then they didn't. And the Bills 3-0, very solid start. And as you can see, only 2% think the Saints are going to win. And I'm going to vote for the Bills. Following that, we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Detroit Lions. The Browns picking up a shocking win against the Packers. The Lions, obviously, at the time of recording, haven't played their game against the Ravens yet. It's been played in Detroit, and I do think the Lions' offense will prevail. The Browns' defense is solid. It held the Packers to only 10 points. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think the Lions are going to get it done. Following that, we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the New England Patriots. The Panthers shutting out the Falcons 30-0. Damn, that's quite a statement. And the Patriots losing to the Steelers, it's like, well, they could have won that game. It's been played in New England, but I am going to go with the Panthers here. I think that their performance last week was good enough to warrant it. Next we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the New York Giants. Chargers 3-0 and beaten the Broncos this week, I'm pretty sure. Giants losing to the Chiefs. I don't know what was going through my head when I picked them to win. It's an easy pick for me. Following that, we had the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles taking care of business against the Rams, coming back from like 22-7 down. Yes, there were controversial penalties that weren't called, but the Eagles did manage to block the game-winning field goal and return it for a touchdown. The Buccaneers had a very close call against the Jets, in which one of their field goals got blocked and returned for a touchdown. And they still won. So, both these teams 3-0. I like the Buccaneers a lot. I'm gonna have to... Hang on. I was very tempted to pick the Eagles here. But the Buccaneers have actually had the Eagles' hands over the last few years. Beat them last season, beat them in the wild card 2 seasons ago. I'm going with the Pirates. Following that, we have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. Oh dear. This is going to be quite a matchup, as neither of these teams have won a game. I'm actually going to go for the Titans here. Cam Ward, excellent quarterback. Well, that's an unpopular pick, but I'm going with the Titans purely out of instinct. Oh dear. Following that, we've got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The Colts 3-0. Yeah, that's surprising. And then the Rams obviously losing to the Eagles on a blocked game-winning field goal. This one, I think, I hate to say it, but I'm going with the Colts. The Rams kind of collapsed in the second half of that game against the Eagles. I think the Colts are going to win. Damn, okay. 82% of you disagree, but wow, I'm really going for unpopular picks. Next, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Jaguars getting a win last week. 49ers getting a win last week. Overall, though, I think this is a pretty easy choice. I'm picking the 49ers. Yeah. Jaguars are 2-1, which is crazy. But I think they're going to go 2-2. Following that, the Baltimore Ravens against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Ravens obviously haven't played their Week 3 game yet, as of recording. And then the Chiefs finally winning their first game against the Giants. It's been played in Arrowhead, but I'm going to pick the Ravens. If they beat the Lions, they're going to definitely have the momentum going into this game. It's going to be a spicy one. Following that, they have the Chicago Bears taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bears, they beat the Dallas Cowboys. And the Raiders, yeah, they lost. I do think the Bears might actually have more momentum here. I'm picking the Chicago Bears. Even though it's been played in Vegas, I still think the Bears are going to pull it off. Following that, we've got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Both these teams losing last week. The Packers losing to the Browns. The Cowboys losing to the Bears. It's been played in Dallas. I don't know. If I didn't know last week happened, I would have picked the Packers, no doubt. I'm still probably going to pick them. I still think they're the better team. Next we have the New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins. Both these teams are 0-3, so most likely one of them's getting their first win. The Jets, they could have beaten the Buccaneers, and they have been keeping their games close except for week 2. The Dolphins, 0-3, losing to the Bills. I think I'm going to vote for the Jets to get the win here. Hoping they don't let me down. Finally, we had the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Denver Broncos. The Bengals losing massively to the Vikings, which I didn't see coming. And then the Broncos losing again. But since it's being played in Denver and Jake Browning is still starting, I'm picking the Broncos to win. And the points, I'm going to pick Sadie. 29. 29. Alright, so those are my predictions. Hopefully, I do need to improve, because this 8-7 week was rough. I'm glad I got this one right. But, yeah. We're currently at 33-14. That last week hurt a lot. Hopefully this week will be better. Now, see you next time.